When we talk about quality challenges in the food industry, it's rarely about a lack of procedures or paperwork. The real issue often lies in how quality is woven into the daily fabric of the organization. Think about it. When quality is treated as a separate function, a box to be checked by one department, we see the same problems pop up over and over again. It's like trying to bake a cake by adding the flour after it's already out of the oven. It just doesn't work. Today, we're diving deep into the concept of quality culture, exploring why strengthening it isn't just a nice-to-have, but an absolute necessity for long-term success and growth in the competitive food industry. So, what exactly is quality culture? It's a term we hear a lot, but what does it mean in practice? It goes far beyond documents, checklists, and compliance certificates. Quality culture is the collective mindset of an organization. It's the unspoken rules, the shared beliefs, and the everyday habits that guide how teams make decisions. It's about how people communicate with each other, especially when things go wrong. It's how quality principles are applied not just during an audit, but during the hustle and bustle of everyday operations. A truly strong quality culture exists when every single person in the organization, from the CEO to the frontline operator, understands their role in maintaining standards and delivering consistency. It's the difference between a team that says, "That's not my job," and a team that asks, "How can we make this better together?" How can you tell if your organization's quality culture needs a tune-up? There are some common signs that are often clear indicators. For instance, do quality-related decisions happen exclusively within the quality department, in a silo? That's a red flag. Another sign is a heavy focus on hitting short-term production targets at the expense of long-term consistency and brand reputation. If teams aren't communicating effectively, or if you find yourself implementing the same corrective actions for the same recurring problems, that's another signal. Finally, think about how audits are perceived. Are they seen as a bureaucratic hurdle, a formal requirement to get through? Or are they viewed as valuable learning opportunities to identify areas for growth? These signals aren't failures, they're invitations to improve and build a more resilient system. Now, let's talk about the single most influential factor in shaping quality culture: leadership. The role of leaders cannot be overstated. When leaders consistently and visibly reinforce quality principles in their words and actions, they set the standard for the entire organization. When they encourage transparency, making it safe for employees to report issues without fear of blame, they build trust. And when they actively support and invest in continuous improvement initiatives, they show that quality is a genuine priority, not just a slogan on a poster. What leaders choose to emphasize, what they measure, and what they reward ultimately becomes ingrained in the company's everyday behavior. If leaders talk about quality but only reward speed, the message is clear. True cultural change starts at the top. So, how do we actively strengthen this culture? It's a journey, not a destination, but there are practical steps. First, champion shared responsibility. Quality shouldn't live in one department, it needs to be owned by everyone, from procurement to production to logistics. Second, establish clear and respectful communication channels. People need to feel comfortable speaking up. Third, make your training meaningful. Don't just teach procedures, explain the why behind them. When people understand the purpose and the impact of their actions, they are far more engaged. Fourth, cultivate a continuous improvement mindset. Encourage curiosity and empower teams to find and solve problems. And finally, ensure consistent leadership involvement. Leaders must walk the talk, day in and day out. Remember, quality works best when it's integrated into the DNA of the company, not isolated as an afterthought. To wrap this up, in the fast-paced and high-stakes world of the food industry, a strong quality culture is the bedrock that supports everything else. It drives consistency, builds consumer trust, and fuels sustainable growth. When quality becomes a natural part of daily decision-making for every team member, organizations don't just avoid problems. They create better outcomes for their teams, their partners, and most importantly, for the consumers who rely on them. Building this culture is an investment, but it's one that pays dividends in resilience, reputation, and long-term success. Thanks for watching, and if you found this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.